Today I wanted to go over a great resource for you if you are doing a research paper. One of the resources I really like to use to find sources for my paper is Wikipedia. You can't use this as a source for your paper, but you can use it as a starting point for your paper. So we're going to take a look here today, and I'm going to use TikTok as an example because you guys all seem to love TikTok a little bit too much. So if I were writing a paper about the expansion of TikTok in social media, I would probably go to a Wikipedia page, right? Well, the nice thing about Wikipedia is they have these things called notes, and each note is a different source you can use to read over information, to find new links, to discover any information you might have not known about the paper, or anything of the sort. For example, something such as, forget the trade war, TikTok is China's most important export right now. It was written on May 24th, 2019, so we know it's a pretty recent source. Or we could do something like the app that launched 1,000 memes. Again, it's done on February 2018 and was retrieved on 2nd of February 2020, so we know it's a usable resource. And every single one of these links you can probably visit as long as it has this hyperlink right here. Another thing I like to do when I'm looking at Wikipedia articles is I like to do something with these hyperlinks here as well. These will either tell you some information about a certain thing, or it can take you to a whole different page, okay? And that page might have information that you're looking for. It's a pretty easy way to kind of find some good information, start finding resources, finding external links, any further reading maybe, because this is a paper right here on Artsy. You have all these different sources. So once you start clicking through these, you're going to go to a bunch of different sites, and you need to know what is reputable. So if it's a site like CNBC, we've heard of it before. We know it's pretty popular. Then it's not going to be one that we're considering as something. Bias in papers can make or break your paper. Another thing we can talk about here as well is the use of something called, we're going to go back to TikTok, simple Wikipedia. So this right here, instead of EN, you're going to put simple.wikipedia.org, and this will break down your information into usable chunks. It'll also break down your references as well. So it's a really great resource to use. If I were to be doing something that's a little bit harder, I could be doing something on the Chinese Communist Party. And it would also give me a pretty simplified page with simplified information, even though it's a very complex issue. Same with anything. Okay? This is all up to you. If I were to do fairy tales, I could go to the fairy tale page and it would break it down a lot more. This is a huge beneficial resource to you, especially if you can't read a lot of text or can't focus easily. Let's say I was doing a research paper on women in comic books, and I want to do a specific research paper on Kamala Khan, who is Miss Marvel. I might look at all these things right here and look at the in other media section where it would tell me different information about these comic book characters in other media. Maybe she appears in a movie. Maybe she appears in animation. We can look at the movie's reviews and the reception of it. All of those things we can do on here, and it can help us with our research. Please know this is not a be-all, end-all. It's just a really great jumping off point for you. It's something that I really like using and something that I think a lot of people would love to use as well. Have a great day, guys. Get some rest, and I will talk to you soon.